Hi, loves. So we are back. Every single day that we show up for this process, every time we ask a question or dig in, we are making progress. Once years ago, I asked a question and I keep getting people resonating on this question. And so I want to start here with you as well. What if writing a book were easy? It doesn't feel easy because you've never done it before. You don't have anybody guiding you. Um, there's lots of steps, and it's so what if you had somebody guiding you? Those steps were broken down. There was a space for the emotion, and you always knew what you needed to do next. Would it feel easy? That's our objective. Okay. I've taken the entire book writing process. You've already, at this point, gone through our 4-part methodology. You understand the creative cycle, the dreaming, and the resting, which is super fundamental. You understand what goes into that ideation that then fuels the next stage, which is planning. You're planning your time, planning your space, planning your content. Then we draft with the goal of doing it badly. Wrote a whole book about it. There's a later lesson that's like a reader's guide for my book. If that helps at all, go ahead and look through that. If you find yourself hung up at any stage of this process with perfectionism, go back. Remember the goal. Your first goal is the main goal is to just do shitty job. First is the worst. That's the objective. Okay. Throughout this course, you're going to see different action items. So you know, oh, if I do this one thing, I am that one step closer. You will see lessons, video lessons with me talking you through. Sometimes I will be in this beautiful place and sometimes I will not. But I will always be showing up to help with the process, breaking down each lesson each week so that you have something to understand, something to implement, and something to work on. We've also built worksheets, templates, checklists, things so that it's not just me talking or feels like I'm rambling, but okay, check, check, check. Here we go. Okay. Remember, throughout this course, you have 6 months ongoing coaching support in the weekly writers circle, in the community with other authors, and you'll have access to this course for a lot longer than 6 months. But we want to create a little bit of pressure so that you have a reason to actually get it done. Okay. You have access for 6 months, but I think, and we've designed it this way, that 12 weeks you can map out your book. The first couple of weeks are what we call the incubation stage, planning and ideation. Let me just share my screen with you while we're talking through it so you can look at what I'm talking about and not just listen to my voice. Let's see, there it is. I'm going to share that with you. So we are not just having 12 weeks to go about it. The first 3 weeks is the incubation period, okay? That ideation and planning that you learned about in the Writers 101. We want to now implement that, okay? We're defining your book's purpose, the audience, the core message, defining a clear outline. What is that reader's journey? Where are you taking them from A to B? What are the steps along the way? And then building a sustainable writing practice for yourself. And don't get confused or hung up with a sustainable practice, meaning a rigid routine. They're not always the same thing. If you need it to be rigid, then by all means. But I want you to have a way that you can keep coming back, okay? Because it's going to require you keep coming back. Weeks 4 to 8 is where we're creating momentum and flow, where you are just drafting. If you get stuck in perfectionism and are trying to make it good, it feels hard, I need you to step back and remember the goal here is the shittier the better. Okay. Give yourself permission and even celebrate that. Okay. Writing consistently, maybe weekly word counts if that works for you, but what finds flow? I share later all of the things that define my flow. Sometimes it all happens in the middle of the night and it all just gets done. Strengthening your story techniques so you can just get a little bit better at writing as you go. And then it's really in this part that there's a lot of overcoming self-doubt, staying motivated, and really navigating the emotional obstacles that do get in the way. It is not the logistics of writing a book that prevent most people from writing a book. You can Google it, you can look it up. There's lots of books on it, but it's actually mostly mindset and the emotions. So we do chip away at that significantly. And then the final stage, the final stretch is revision, where we take that shitty first draft, lovingly, the shitty first draft, and we read it, we revise it, we make it better. We're looking for clarity, for impact. We're looking, is what's good in here? And what do I toss or repurpose or reallocate? Okay, this is where we're strengthening the different elements and preparing ourselves for publishing. The formatting and edit, the final edit and formatting is what we call part of the publishing process. But you do want your book to have a lot of the pieces in place so it contains what you're trying to accomplish. We teach, and you'll see this later, to think about beyond the book. Right now, that seems so far away, but we want to make sure that you're planting some important seeds inside the manuscript for your reader. How can they work with you outside of the book? How will they work with you? How will they reach you 5 years from now? Because we're just trying to get the book written and published. But once it's published, it's going to be in the world collectively. Somebody's going to find it at a bookstore or pick it up off of somebody's coffee table and then read it and want to talk to you. So I want you to begin to be thinking that far in advance. Okay. These phases are then broken down into slightly even more details, as well as some worksheets and checklists, just to make you feel like you are actually making the success that you're making, because it is a bit of a journey. And if the journey requires that you put one step in front of the other, or you don't feel like you're getting anywhere, then you know what you're going to do? You're not going to take the next important action. So here's the overview. It's always available to you. Come back and look at it when you need to. If you work really well on your own and can be let loose on this, by all means, go wild. If you are the kind of person who needs that touch base, that accountability, be sure to be attending our weekly writers calls and the other live events in the community to make sure that you take the fullest advantage of the resources that are available to you. Because we want you to, you know it, right? This year. I'll see you in the next lesson.